Let's take a look at what the America's Got Talent champions are doing now. You'll be surprised to learn which one of them blew all their money and went broke, who became the most successful, who swapped singing for acting, and who chose to step away from performing altogether. Let's dive in. Let me tell you about Paul Zerdan. This British guy came to America with his puppets and absolutely crushed the competition. Now, before AGT, Paul was already doing his thing back in England. He'd been performing with puppets since he was a kid and had even won Britain's Got Talent way back when. But he wanted the big American stage. On AGT Season 10, Paul did something really special. His puppet show wasn't just funny, it was hilarious. He had this whole family of puppet characters and he could throw his voice like nobody's business. The judges couldn't even figure out how he did it. Simon Cowell, who's usually super tough, was laughing like crazy. And here's what made Paul different. He got the Golden Buzzer, the very first Golden Buzzer winner, to take home the whole show. So what's Paul doing now? Well, this guy didn't slow down for a second. He's been touring all over the UK with something called the Paul Zerdan Family Show. It's basically him and all his puppet buddies putting on an amazing performance. He also came back to compete in AGT, the champions, in 2019, though he didn't make it to the finals that time. But here's the cool part, Paul is still doing what he loves, making people laugh with his puppets and living his dream in England. Now this one's special, folks. Imagine a 12-year-old girl walking onto the AGT stage with just a ukulele and an original song. That was Grace VanderWaal, and when she sang I Don't Know My Name during her audition, something magical happened. Simon Cowell literally said she could be the next Taylor Swift. The entire theater went crazy. Before AGT, Grace was just a regular kid who loved writing songs in her bedroom. She'd post videos online, but nothing major. Her parents supported her music, but nobody expected this. When Howie Mandel hit that golden buzzer for her, Grace's whole life changed in an instant. What made Grace special wasn't just her voice, it was her songs. She wrote everything herself, and even though she was only 12, her lyrics felt real. You could tell she meant every word she sang. Week after week, she kept bringing original music, and America fell in love with this tiny girl with the huge talent. So where is Grace now? Buckle up, because this girl has been busy. Right after winning, she released her first album called Just the Beginning, and it actually made it to number 22 on the charts. Then she signed with a modeling agency and started doing fashion stuff too. But wait, there's more. Disney Plus saw her star power and cast her as the lead in a movie called Stargirl in 2020. Grace has also released more music over the years, including songs like Don't Assume, What You Don't Know. The crazy part? Grace now has over 4 million followers on Instagram, more than any other AGT winner. At just 21 years old, she's already done more than most people do in a lifetime. And she's still making music, still touring, and still being herself. Remember when Simon said she'd be the next Taylor Swift? Well, she's definitely on that path. Okay, get this. A 12-year-old girl from Oklahoma who was super shy. Her parents bought her a puppet to help her get over her shyness. Fast forward a bit, and that same girl just won America's Got Talent with the most adorable singing puppets you've ever seen. Darcy Lynn's story is heartwarming. Before AGT, she was just a kid practicing ventriloquism at home because she was too nervous to talk to people. Her mom bought her a puppet named Katie, thinking it might help Darcy come out of her shell. Well, it worked, but probably more than her mom ever imagined. On the show, Darcy amazed everyone. She could sing beautifully while doing ventriloquism, which is super hard. Like, try singing while keeping your mouth closed. It's basically impossible. But Darcy made it look easy. She had this rabbit puppet named Petunia who sang opera, and it was absolutely stunning. When she got the golden buzzer, she became the first female ventriloquist to ever win AGT. Here's what's happening with Darcy now, and you're going to love this. She's been touring all over America. She does shows on weekends during the school year and goes full-time in the summer. She even had a national tour called Darcy Lynn and Friends Live that sold out everywhere. In 2019, she competed on AGT, the champions, and came in second place, which is still amazing. She also hosted her own Christmas special on NBC. But the coolest part, she's still just a normal teenager going to school and hanging out with friends. She hasn't let fame change who she is. And fun fact, she even starred in her first movie in 2022 called A Cowgirl Song. Darcy proved that being shy isn't a bad thing. Sometimes it leads you to discover your greatest talent. Alright, magic lovers, this one's for you. Shin Lim is literally one of the smoothest magicians you'll ever see. This guy does close-up magic that will absolutely blow your mind. We're talking card tricks that look like actual wizardry. Before AGT, Shin had an interesting journey. He was actually studying to be a pianist in college when he developed a condition that made his hands hurt when he played piano. The doctor said he might never play professionally again. So what did Shin do? He taught himself magic. He started with simple card tricks and just kept getting better and better. He even competed in magic competitions and won a bunch of them. When Shin came to AGT Season 13, he didn't talk during his performances. He just let the magic speak for itself. And boy, did it speak. His hands moved so fast and so smoothly, you couldn't catch him even if you watched. In slow motion, cards appeared, disappeared, changed colors. It was insane. The judges were speechless after every performance. Now, here's where it gets even better. After winning AGT, Shin went on to win AGT, the champions too. He was unstoppable. Today, Shin is absolutely killing it in Las Vegas. He took over the Terry Fader Theater at the Mirage Casino Hotel and had his own show called Limitless. We're talking about a multi-year residency, which means he's making serious money doing what he loves. He's also released new card tricks and magic sets for fans who want to learn from him. Shin basically went from a student who couldn't play piano anymore to one of the most famous magicians in the world. Talk about turning your life around. Okay everyone, grab your tissues because this story is beautiful. Kodi Lee came onto the AGT stage with his mom by his side. She explained to the judges that Kodi was born blind and autistic, but that music was his escape. When Kodi started playing the piano and singing, the whole theater went silent, and then he opened his mouth and sang "A Song for You," and everyone lost it. Kodi's life before AGT was challenging but full of music. He was born with optic nerve hypoplasia, which left him legally blind. At just 5 days old, he had to have life-saving surgery. Then he was diagnosed with autism when he was 4. But here's the amazing thing. Kodi has something called an audio photographic memory. That means he can hear a song once and remember it perfectly. He also has perfect pitch. It's like his brain is wired differently for music. Gabrielle Union was so moved by Kodi's audition that she immediately hit the golden buzzer, sending him straight to the live shows. Week after week, Kodi delivered performances that had everyone crying. When he sang "Lost Without You" in the semi-finals, Simon Cowell called it one of the most emotional performances ever on AGT. And when Kodi won, he made history as the first blind and autistic person to win the show. So where is Kodi now? This beautiful soul has been living his best life. He continues to perform live shows and has been a headliner at AGT's Vegas residency at the Luxor. He performed at Tony Robbins' 60th birthday party and even sang the national anthem at the 2022 NFL Draft, and his high notes were absolutely perfect. He's also been releasing original music. In 2023, he released a song called "Hello World" with Colin Hay, and it got amazing reviews. Kodi has competed on AGT, All-Stars, and AGT Fantasy League, showing everyone he's still got it. He even changed up his look recently, showing off a new hairstyle and releasing rap music. His mom Tina says she's incredibly proud of everything he's accomplished. Kodi's story proves that your challenges don't define you. Your talent and heart do. Now, we're going to talk about Brandon Leake, and trust me, this guy is different from every other winner. Why? Because Brandon is a spoken word poet. The first and only one to ever win AGT. That's right, no singing, no dancing, no magic tricks, just powerful words. Brandon grew up in Stockton, California, in a single-parent home. Life wasn't always easy. He started writing poetry in middle school because of girls. We've all been there. But it became more serious in college after he lost one of his best friends. Poetry became his way to deal with pain and share his feelings. Before AGT, Brandon actually auditioned for Season 12 back in 2017, but didn't even make it to the main show. That rejection could have stopped him, but Brandon kept working on his craft. When Season 15 came around, Brandon tried again. This time, he performed a poem about mourning his deceased sister. It was raw, emotional, and absolutely beautiful. Howie Mandel was so moved that he gave Brandon the golden buzzer right there. During the competition, Brandon performed poems about racial injustice, his absent father, and his love for his daughter. Each one hit different and had the judges standing up and crying. What's Brandon doing today? Well, this poet is changing lives. He published a book of poems called Unraveling in 2022 that shows off his unique style. He also got his own 1-hour TV special on the CW called Brandon Leake, A Family Affair, where he performed 8 original spoken word poems. He's still the founder and CEO of Call to Move, an organization that helps young people express themselves through poetry. He tours around the country doing performances and workshops. Brandon also married his wife Anna in 2017, and they now have 2 kids, Aaliyah and Jakari. He still lives in Stockton and works as an educator while doing poetry on the side. In 2025, he even signed with a major talent agency. Let's talk about Dustin Tavella, the magician who made us all cry. Before AGT, Dustin had an interesting path. He grew up in Pennsylvania, going to magic shows in Atlantic City with his grandparents. He fell in love with magic as a kid and started performing at birthday parties. But for a while, he actually worked for a charity organization helping homeless people and mentoring kids. That's where he learned that bringing joy to others was his calling. Dustin is also a musician and had released several songs before trying out for AGT. When he finally auditioned for season 16, he combined his magic with something special, heartwarming stories about his family. During his audition, he talked about adopting his son, Xander, and performed a trick that had everyone in tears. It wasn't just magic, it was emotional. What made Dustin's run so memorable was his authenticity. In the middle of filming AGT, he and his wife adopted another son, Silas. So now he had 2 kids while competing for $1 million. He brought both boys on stage during one performance, and even though Silas had pooped his pants right before going on, yes, this really happened, they still pulled off an amazing show. Dustin's magic always had a message about love, family, and connections. Where is Dustin now? Well, he won AGT without even getting a golden buzzer, which is super rare. Right after winning, his lease was up, so he literally won America's Got Talent and became homeless on the same night. His parents let them stay in Pennsylvania while they figured things out. Now, Dustin and his family live in Las Vegas, where he headlines the America's Got Talent live show at the Luxor Hotel. He performs twice a night, 5 nights a week, but that's not all. Dustin also has his own show called Here Comes Trouble, that combines his love of magic and music into one big show. He's even touring in Branson, Missouri with a production called Now I See. Dustin says his best work happens when he collaborates with other creative people, and he's all about making magic that inspires people to see the world differently. Okay, this group will give you goosebumps. The Mayyas are a dance group of 36 women from Lebanon, and they are absolutely stunning. Their name means the proud walk of a lioness in Arabic, and trust me, they live up to it. Before AGT, the Mayyas already had success. They actually won Arab's Got Talent in 2019 and competed on Britain's Got Talent, The Champions. But their choreographer, Nadim Cherfen, wanted to take them to the biggest stage, America. When they auditioned for AGT Season 17, they promised to hypnotize everyone. And they delivered. Their movements were so synchronized and beautiful, it looked like they were one single organism moving together. Sofia Vergara was so blown away that she hit her golden buzzer immediately. She explained that she grew up in Colombia around Lebanese culture and felt a special connection to them. The Mayyas' performances told stories through dance. They did a piece about Eve and the serpent in the Garden of Eden that was mind-blowing. For the finale, they created an illusion where feathers made it look like the lead dancer was wearing a dress shaped like a Lebanese cedar tree. It was art in motion. Where are the Mayyas now? Hold on to your seats because this is big. After winning AGT, the Mayyas got noticed by none other than Beyoncé. Yes, Queen Bey herself. They performed with her at the opening of the luxurious Atlantis Royal Resort in Dubai in 2023. Then Beyoncé brought them back to perform during her Cowboy Carter tour in Paris in 2025. The group has been headlining the AGT Vegas show at the Luxor and performing all over the world, but more importantly, they've become symbols of hope for Lebanon. Their country has been going through really hard times, and the Mayyas showed the world what Lebanese women can do. They're breaking barriers and empowering women across the Middle East through dance. Nadim Cherfan, their choreographer, says their message is bigger than just winning. It's about showing that dreams can come true no matter where you're from. Let me tell you about probably the most adorable winner ever, a dog trainer from Italy named Adrien and his border collie Hurricane. Now, before you think, oh, just another dog act, let me stop you right there. This duo is something else. Adrien Stoica was born in Romania, but moved to Italy when he was 20. He's been training dogs for years and is actually a 6-time Disc Dog World Champion. Yeah, that's a real thing. He competed on Italia's Got Talent back in 2017 and Romania's Got Talent in 2018 and 2022. Hurricane, his beautiful border collie, was actually abandoned as a puppy before Adrien rescued her. From that moment, they became inseparable. On AGT Season 18, Adrien and Hurricane didn't just do tricks, they told stories. In one performance, Hurricane directed Adrien like a Hollywood movie director, helping him pick out clothes and even bringing Sofia Vergara on stage for a romantic dinner scene. The judges couldn't believe how smart Hurricane was. Adrien never used treats. Hurricane knew the entire routine just from training and trust. Howie Mandel called it his favorite dog act ever on AGT. But here's something sad and beautiful at the same time. Adrien had another dog named Rory, who was Hurricane's mentor and inspiration. Just 10 days after one of their live performances, Rory passed away. Adrien was heartbroken, but Hurricane helped him through it. He realized that life is short and that we need to appreciate every moment with our loved ones, including our pets. So where are Adrien and Hurricane now? This is interesting. They moved back to Italy. While it's unclear exactly when, Adrien's Instagram shows they're living in Italy now and performing at events all across Europe. They also host online dog training seminars to teach other people how to train their dogs. Adrien still posts new tricks with Hurricane on social media, and his videos are hilarious. He once joked that Hurricane is much better than me at doing everything. Adrien says the money is nice, but what matters most is the quality time with your pet. He even said if he won, he'd buy sheep for Hurricane since she's a border collie and needs to herd things. That's pure love right there. And now, the most recent winner before season 20, Richard Goodall. Oh man, where do I even start with this guy? Richard is a 55-year-old school janitor from Terre Haute, Indiana, and he has been working at West Vigo Middle School for 23 years. That's right, a janitor. Before AGT, Richard would sing while cleaning the school hallways just to entertain himself and the kids. He never had any dreams of being famous. In fact, he'd never even been on a plane. But in 2022, a student filmed him singing Journey's Don't Stop Believin' in the school, and the video went viral. It ended up on Fox News and ABC News. Richard actually tried to audition for AGT Season 18, but he didn't make it through the early rounds. But he didn't give up. For Season 19, Richard flew to Los Angeles, his first time ever on a plane, and he was terrified. He said taking off felt like floating and being off balance, just like his whole AGT experience. When he walked onto that stage and sang Don't Stop Believin', the judges lost their minds. Simon Cowell called him his hero. Heidi Klum was so moved, she gave him the golden buzzer right away. Throughout the season, Richard sang amazing covers of songs like How Am I Supposed to Live Without You by Michael Bolton, Eye of the Tiger by Survivor, and Faithfully by Journey. For the finale, he got to perform Don't Stop Believin' with actual members of Journey, including guitarist Neil Schon. Can you imagine? A janitor singing with his favorite band on national TV. Now here's what's so cool about Richard. Even after winning $1 million, he went right back to his janitor job. That's right, he's still mopping floors and cleaning cafeterias at the school. He posts pictures on Instagram with captions like waxing floors today and cafeteria getting some love today. Richard says he never wanted to be famous. He just loves music and making people happy. He's doing some concerts and performances, and he even went to Nashville to record music. He teased a song called Long Time Coming. But he told reporters that he can't see himself not working at the school. The students were super excited at first, but now they see him every day, so the fame is wearing off. Richard likes it that way. Oh, and get this. Richard got married to his girlfriend Angie Vanovan just one day after performing in the AGT finals. They're now Richard and Angela Van Goodall, living in Pasadena, California. Richard says AGT changed his life, but money aside, what matters most is the music and the people. He's proof that you don't need to chase fame. Sometimes fame finds you when you're just being yourself and doing what you love. I know I said last 10 winners, but I have to give you a bonus because season 20 just wrapped up, and this story is wild. Jessica Sanchez from Houston won season 20, but here's the crazy part. She competed on America's Got Talent 20 years ago in season 1 when she was just 10 years old. She auditioned singing Celine Dion's I Surrender, but didn't win back then. Fast forward 2 decades, and Jessica came back to AGT. But wait, it gets better. She was 8 months pregnant during the finals. Can you imagine? She was worried about performing with her baby bump, but she delivered an incredible performance of Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars' Die With A Smile that won her the $1 million prize. Jessica is now 29 years old and said over the years she fell out of love with music because she was so young and people kept trying to tell her who to be. But after 20 years, she finally knows exactly who she is and what she wants. And America agreed. They voted her as the winner. She got Sofia Vergara's golden buzzer during auditions and just dominated the whole season. Jessica is proof that it's never too late to chase your dreams again. So there you have it, the last 11 winners of America's Got Talent and where they are today. If you notice a pattern, it's this. Success looks different for everyone. Some winners are headlining in Vegas, some are touring the world, some are inspiring people through poetry, some move back home to other countries, and one is literally still mopping floors at a middle school. The biggest lesson, talent comes in all forms. You don't have to be a singer to win, though it helps. You can be a dancer, a magician, a poet, a dog trainer, or just a regular person with an extraordinary gift. And winning doesn't mean you have to completely change your life if you don't want to. What's most inspiring is that these winners stayed true to themselves. Grace VanderWaal is still writing her own music. Darcy Lynn is still performing with her puppets while going to school. Kodi Lee is still inspiring people with his story. Leake is still helping kids through poetry. And Richard Goodall is still a janitor who happens to sing. America's Got Talent gave these people a platform, $1 million, and a chance at their dreams. But what they did with it, that was all up to them. And every single one of them made choices that made them happy, not just famous. That's the real prize. So if you're sitting at home thinking you could never do something like this, think again. Every one of these winners was just a regular person before AGT found them. Grace was a 12-year-old with a ukulele. Richard was a janitor singing in school hallways. Adrien was training dogs in Italy. They didn't have special connections or famous parents. They just had talent and the courage to share it with the world. If you loved learning about these winners, drop a like on this video and let me know in the comments which winner surprised you the most. Are you team singing janitor or team dancing Lebanese queens? Should Richard quit his job or keep mopping those floors? And most importantly, who do you think will win season 21? Thanks for watching, and remember, your talent is valid, your dreams are possible, and you never know when your moment will come. Just like these 11 amazing winners, your story could be next.